Better? Better right here?
Yeah, yeah, that
Okay,
looks good. I think we're I think we're all set then, Nick, for
cool.
the first time since the Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special. If you wanna
Yeah,
hit it.
I'm rusty, but let's do it. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Marvel Multiverse Mayhem.
Woo! The craziness is back.
The Mayhem and the Multiverse are definitely back. As this week, Kyle, hello, Kyle,
What's up?
and hello, we'll be discussing Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania. We're back, and we're only really going to be doing these shows when there's something to actually talk about. So we're back until they announce the actual release date of Secret Invasion, which I believe is next. We don't have any dates. I think the most recent rumors today is we're getting 2 shows this year, but we'll see.
Yeah.
I just got home from watching it. It's probably been a few hours for Kyle. Did you? Because I had a really
About
early
2.
afternoon screening. Yeah, I had a 3 o'clock screening for you too.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
And yeah, we're here to talk beginning of Phase 5, first project from Phase 5. Let's jump right into a quick spoiler-free reaction. Kyle, you go first.
So this is better than most of everything in Phase 4. It was funny, a bit chaotic. Pacing was a bit rough here and there, but it was still overall enjoyable. I think M.O.D.O.K has his aesthetic issues, but was funny and done real well as far as the character himself. And Kang is a badass, but it's not perfect. They hid the CGI a lot in the dark. This is by far the darkest Marvel movie I think there's been.
I would agree.
It was hard to see.
It was shot on the volume.
Yeah.
Oh, did you see it in 3D? Because it'd be
No.
darker in 3D. Okay.
I did not see it in 3D, although I did see the 3D gag that they put in there with the one creature trying to eat them in ant form, like in shrunken form.
Oh,
His mouth kind of snaps
Yeah.
at the screen a couple of times, but overall, man, it's a solid B for me. Few issues here and there. Keep it from being a B plus, but it was not a B minus, solid B. I think I would like to watch it again, maybe.
sounds like the most enthusiastic Kyle's been about a project
For a
since I've been on
long
last.
time.
Because I wasn't here for the Black Panther show. But obviously, the last thing we talked was She-Hulk, which was not Kyle's bag, baby.
No, it wasn't.
I
Didn't we did the Guardian special?
Oh yeah, we did the
together?
Guardian
Yeah,
special,
yeah.
which you liked even more than I did. But
Yeah, I think, but it still wasn't the
No.
hottest.
I think this is a fantastic start for Phase 5. That's not saying it's a perfect
Good
movie.
palate cleanser.
A good palate cleanser. It deals with a lot of complaints from Phase 4, I feel, which have become complaints in other people's reviews, which we'll discuss in a moment. We can see the direction we're headed. I went in with tempered, like if I went in with the same expectations as Doctor Strange, I probably would have been disappointed, but at this point I know we're slowly building the multiverse. We're not just gonna blow everything up until later. I agree about the pacing. I was gonna give the movie a B plus, and then when the big fun, the most fun characters, Kang and M.O.D.O.K showed up, I bumped it up to an A minus. Because I really the reviews and that kind of stuff temper my expectations enough, and just knowing what we got through Phase 4, that I'm like, okay, this isn't going to be mind blowing.
Not give Marvel an A.
Well, it's not an A. I wasn't giving an A, but I'm like,
Well, I mean,
no matter how good
in
it
the
is, I
A's.
shouldn't go up to an A just because I always give movies an A. But it is a legit A minus. It is not an A. I don't have to lower it just to sound like I'm not as in love with Marvel. And yeah, I guess with that, we can get into spoilers, because I mean, spoilers can
Sure.
include all sorts of talk that aren't actually spoilers.
Yep.
So I would say, well, first of all, I honestly want to start with the post-credit scenes,
Okay.
which confirmed. Well, I like the second one was the most exciting for me, even though it felt like the post-credit scene of the first Ant-Man,
Mhm.
where it's literally a clip from Civil War, and this is literally
Yeah,
a clip
yeah.
from Loki. But it just confirmed to me that we'll be getting Jonathan Majors in that project,
Loki,
and the
yeah,
more
which
of
is
him, we see, I think, the better, just because, not just because he's the big bad, but because I think he's one of the most talented villain actors in a blockbuster. Like, there are a lot of great villains, but he is such a good actor at this. Like, even in the pre-credits, although the scene where she meets him and he's not like a big badass or anything, he's just like, every line he says is like shivers, or like, he's scary. And then of course the other one not only gave us the Council of Kangs, so that what they call it in?
I don't remember. I think so.
Well, I don't know if they said it in the movie, but they said
no,
like
not
how
in the
many.
not in the movie.
I know, because I know there's a Council of Richards or Reeds, isn't there? Or is that?
I think there's something like both.
But we got to see. Well, two of them look like they were similar. We got to see the two of the Pharaoh Kangs. I forgot that.
No,
name.
you're seeing Immortus. You're seeing Ramu, Tot, or
Ironland.
Ramu, whatever, and you're seeing Iron.
The three
Ironlad.
we know the most from the comics.
Yes.
So that was cool. And then a whole bunch of other
it
ones,
was a
including
council of
like
Kangs.
Skrull Kang and like, you know, Monster. You know, the general. This is what all the different Kangs look like, Loki style, where there's like a Hulk Loki and a.
Yeah, but man, you know, the Egyptian one, Ramu, whatever the hell, that was an ugly costume. And
Yeah.
the Immortus one was also,
He was weird looking.
those two looked really, really cheap. I'm not gonna lie. That really kind of upset me. It almost especially the Egyptian one, it just looked like an expensive Halloween costume. Like the Egyptian Halloween costume in a movie. So at a movie when they're at a costume party,
Yeah.
right? And of course it's Hollywood, so they go over the top for these regular people having a costume party. That's what it looked like. And I hated it. It was a cool post-credit scene, but it looked and it felt tacked on. You know what I'm saying? It looked cheap. Even having all the Kangs teleport, it's a very, very bleak black sky, stormy cloud stuff going on,
Sith
but
level,
simple background,
realm.
simple everything was really, really simple because it was all done in digital, and it had no life. The costumes looked cheap. I hated it. Everything about it except for what it showed, the idea of a Kang dynasty, if you will.
I did like about it a lot is that we've now gotten 6 very different performances from Jonathan Majors. With the 3 at the end of this, the old-timey time traveler and the Loki thing, Kang and He Who Remains, they all are very different characters, which is what they promised. So I think we'll get... And at first I was sad about that because I was like, oh, I love how he played He Who Remains. He's like goofy and fun, but it's like, this Kang was scary when he's beating the shit out of Scott Lang at the end. With like, even like, he's actually muscular, like his shirt's ripped or his costume's ripped and he actually got muscles. Well, I mean, I guess he has the muscles for Creed just as much for this.
Dude.
Yeah.
I mean,
but
yeah.
And then, loved M.O.D.O.K. At first I thought it was cheesy that he came back and saved them. But then his dying scene where he's like, at least I get to die an Avenger. I was cackling.
It was funny, man. I didn't mind him so much. Like I said, no, maybe I only said this to Christine. I hated his face. I think it made it.
You said the aesthetic was questionable in your.
So whenever he's in the mask, it's golden. The performance is golden, but they should have made the head more scarred, monstrous, more deformity than just literally looks like a zoomed in head. There's the face of M.O.D.O.K character from Doctor Who. You probably don't know it, but any Doctor Who fans out there should know what I'm talking about. I could have seen something like that, not in a jar, but other than that, man, I didn't mind M.O.D.O.K. I thought it was almost a shame that they kill him, because it's like, you know, why not let him come back somehow, some way, you know? I don't necessarily need him redeemed again. I don't need another redemption of a villain, but it was played for laughs and it worked for laughs. So,
as I mentioned earlier, the first half was really slow and my grades started to change when we finally got like, I mean, you save the good shit. You save the big Kang reveal, the M.O.D.O.K reveal until almost the third act.
Heavy exposition with Hank and Janet, and yeah, man, it got rough there. My son Lucas was even like, I'm getting
as a kid, I'd be antsy.
I'm like, I'm sorry, man.
And I agree with the reviews. It very much is, you know, Marvel does Star Wars as far as like, hey, this is almost like a new world, all these different aliens. Dude, all the reviews say that.
Even the aesthetic, like the goggles and the cloaks and
like
the
Rey's goggles.
Why are we watching Dave Filoni Star Wars right now? Why?
But then, of course, there are lots of funny aliens. The one that's fascinated with holes, who gets his holes funny. Later. Like, you have your humor. No, you have, I don't know. I love the action, like the Ant-Man action, and especially when all the Ant-Mans, including Baskin Robbins, Scott Lang, are like, oh, we gotta help him. And it was very much felt like the original movie, which I rewatched, where he's lost in the quantum realm and he only has the will to come back because he hears Cassie's voice.
Nice little call back. I liked a lot of the humorous moments like that as well. Like I said, there's no like there's nothing in here that knocked it out of the park for me, but there was nothing here that I groaned at. Like, I don't remember, other than little things with the aesthetic. Like, I got tired of how dark it was. It's my eyesight's already rough. And sitting through a movie that dark, especially a Marvel movie, which I'm not used to them being that dark, it was a little jarring. Little things with some of the exposition where, okay, maybe I groaned a little bit, where it's like, oh, you guys could speed this up a bit. But nothing really killed it. It just nothing was spectacular. But that's okay. I didn't need this to be spectacular. I needed it to be good. And I think it was. I think I can say, as of right now, this was good. A mid-tier. It's not a top 10, not a top 15.
It's not now that a rotten one.
But it's not a rotten one. I
can't believe it has the worst reviews than a lot of the Phase 4 movies.
Except for, what you call it?
The one that deserves it, Eternals.
Eternals. Oh, God, that was garbage.
That is one of the worst ones.
Oh, man, I had hit the wrong button. I was sitting there talking, and it was only on you. Anyways, so...
Oh, yeah. Shoot.
I like the action as well. I thought it was done fun. The fights were fun. M.O.D.O.K was fun, running around with all the weapons and stuff. Yeah. I like the baby hand at the end.
Yes, like, that made me think Deadpool, but like, just even when they show his naked body from behind, it's like, because everyone, you know, like, what the hell? And then when they show his body, everyone's like, either laughing or like, ew, because I was in a packed like theater at 3 p.m.
We had 29 people, including the three of us. Yeah, it was my area is awful for movies these days.
But then I wanted to address two things about the main complaint. Well, one of the big complaints about the movie, and a lot of people are starting to tweet this, which I find hypocritical because a lot of franchises they also do this, is that a lot of people have been like, stop giving me TV episodes at the movie theater. I want a 2-hour self-contained movie. And it's like, have you been watching Marvel? And wasn't that big complaints with Phase 4 is that they weren't connected enough, so you didn't know what was going on?
Yeah. I agree. I think that
obviously this sets up stuff,
and I think that's what most people are getting upset about, because it's like, well, wasn't Phase 4 supposed to be the setup? And it's like, no. You see, that was just garbage that we threw out there because we had to feed the Disney Plus machine, and now that is ending, check out Breaking Geek Radio tomorrow for a discussion on the shrinking of content for Disney Plus. Now they're like, now the real setup. So I can get that. For me, I really wish they would have done some of those things that they were that some people had theorized, like connecting the 10 rings or the bangle to Kang.
I still think they will. I was going to mention that in a second.
But why not in this film? I mean, at some point, something from Phase 4 has to freaking matter, man. Like, holy shit. We are still... Like, we didn't even really see much of a multiverse situation here until the post-credits scene. Like, we are still so deep into the multiverse saga, and we are still nowhere near feeling like we are in a multi. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
I get people's complaints with that, but what you said specifically about anyone saying, "Oh, it's too much setup," and then they complained about not enough setup. But if they have that consistent, like, dude, we're still not technically, and I knew this, like, I knew.
You kind of said to me about it, which is why you said that kind of thing earlier, which is what tempered my expectations, where you're like, well, don't expect it to suddenly be a breaking open of the multiverse. I'm like, no, it's going to be mostly about Kang. And Kang is going to sound like He Who Remains a little bit when he's like, I've seen the end, and he has like one clean circle, and he's like, and I wish to God that they would have done, like, as much of a afterthought as it would have been. If you are going to connect Kang to the 10 rings and other things, you should have freaking done it here, even with a bare minimum Easter egg. And don't give me that, oh, the rings that were transferring him from the quantum realm out before Scott smashed them, those are the same no. I need something more concrete than that. Otherwise, I'm hating you for lazy writing, Kevin. This isn't this is just as small as an Easter egg, but I did think of Captain Marvel's powers when he's using the platforms to like walk down stuff, because that's what she does with her bangles. That's one of the other rumored connector. And kind of like what another thing I wanted to bring up is we're obviously Guardians is probably not going to deal with the multiverse at all.
No, and none of the Guardians never really. And yeah, we know Thanos,
and I doubt the
shows
Thunderbolts
up and you have Ronan, but it's not. Guardians never. Guardians was connected. It never drove the saga forward. They existed within the Infinity Saga. Their thing, like the Power Stone, was in the same place essentially as it was in the beginning of the film after Peter stole it, as it was at the end of the film on Xandar. Like, it really didn't go anywhere. So. I don't expect that from Guardians, but that's the one that I need to be good. Like, I need that to be good.
And that's one of the things I was going to bring it up. Is like, don't expect a connection to Kang in every movie. Like, we didn't have that with the Infinity Saga. We didn't have a stone in every movie. We didn't have a reference to stone in a movie. Like I said, maybe we'll get some Kang references. Maybe we'll find out about the Bangles and why they're switching places in the Marvels. Maybe that has some multiversal time travel baloney with that. Baloney in a good way.
Baloney's never good.
With 2 pieces of white bread and a pickle on the side.
No. Gross.
But another thing I wanted to say is that as much as I agree that like it sets up a lot, it did feel like the end of a trilogy too. Like, we had enough references back. I mean, not like the end, but it still felt like a sequel that could live almost on its own, especially since he kills the Kang in this one. None of his friends, though.
He didn't necessarily kill.
He killed that Kang. They even said that. They're like, he killed the one that we exiled.
They did say killed? Oh, okay.
Yeah, they're like, he killed the one that they exiled. They were getting too close, referring to the Avengers to like our level, or like
killed.
I'm pretty sure in the post-credit scene they say it. Like,
I'm not
killed the one they exiled.
I heard them say something about the one that they exiled. I didn't hear word killed, so that's crazy. Anyways,
because that gives he did kill the villain, and I love at the end where he's like happy-go-lucky, and just for a moment he's like, wait, did I kill everyone? He said everyone was gonna die. He's like, no, things are just crazy.
I will say, hearing that, I didn't think he necessarily died at first. So when I walked out of the theater, I was like, he's gonna figure out a way out. The Council of Kangs will get him out or something like that. I thought they said defeated. I think that's what I heard.
Maybe they said defeated.
And so when I walked out of the theater, which would be, but maybe they didn't. Maybe they said killed. But I thought I heard defeated. Because he's the Conqueror, and that's supposed to be the big one. But then you have this council thing, which would kind of feed into the whole Kang dynasty. And we know, I don't know if it's been made official or if it's just a really dependable rumor that the Beyonder will be a Kang.
That was a really good rumor that I was like, the perfect way to do the Beyonder if you're going to connect Kang Dynasty to Secret Wars.
Yeah, so I can see where they can do that, but you still want the Conqueror to be a part of it. So, but if he is dead, then I'm kind of like, that's kind of sad, because it's a repeat of the man at the end of whatever the hell the circle, He Who Remains, where it's like a fake out. You know, it's not the worst of the variant.
But I think stuff. That's so kind of the point, is that you can kill off each one. I mean, I don't think we're going to see more die until Kang Dynasty. You can kill off a Kang, and it's like, oh, well, there's other bad ones. And now the whole group is like, we need to keep an eye out on these Avengers he's been worried about, and he's been killing.
He was the one that was supposed to be trying to kill them all. So it's
He Who Remains is the one who killed them all, at least before timeline. I don't know. It's still weird how Loki works. Because is that point in time? Is it a never time? Like, you know, this event happened when these events happened, but really it's at the end of time. It's the middle of time. I'm just really excited for. I don't know. I'm gonna watch me some Jonathan Majors movies I haven't seen. That the one, I don't remember what it's called, the airplane movie that wasn't Top Gun last year, but had an actor from Top Gun in it and Jonathan Majors. I saw a trailer on Paramount Plus for it while watching
the one
Picard.
That's like set in Korean War or World War II.
And it's like, I'll watch that. And there's another movie he's in that I haven't seen, because I basically have only seen him in these and this Western he did with Idris Elba, The Harder They Fall, I think it's called. So I definitely, and I'm gonna see Creed 3. I haven't seen the first two. I don't care. I want to see it. But yeah, I was pleased. I think Marvel's back on track. Of course, every movie is completely different thing, where you could fall on one, you could be a highlight on another. Hopefully Guardians is a highlight. Hopefully Loki is a highlight. Secret Invasion, we'll see if they try to do too much with the TV show, which is kind of their history. But
yeah,
Phase 5, baby. Phase 5.
Don't have a lot of hope on Secret Invasion, but I wasn't a fan of the comic arc, and I know this will have to be very, very different than the comic arc, but
different than Civil War.
We'll see. Yeah, definitely. We'll see. So,
all right. Anything else to add, Kyle?
No. You want me to do the closeout today?
Sure.
Cool. Hey guys, check out lrmonline.com every day for all entertainment news, needs, and opinions. Written reviews, celebrity interviews that go up on the LRM YouTube channel, and more. Speaking of LRM online YouTube channel, you guys might be watching the Genreverse YouTube channel, and if you are, please hit the red subscribe button. It's white on my screen, but that's because of dark mode. But hit the red subscribe button, and if you haven't done that already. If you like reactions, we've got trailer reactions, anime reactions, reviews. We've got the Cantina for Star Wars, Daily Cog, Breaking Geek, cover everything you can imagine in entertainment. So check those out. All of the non-reaction things go up on your favorite podcast apps like Google, Spotify, Apple, Amazon, and more. That's it, guys.
So with that, enough said. No, which one do I say? Excelsior?
Oh
Excelsior.
God. Enough said.